Stop. You have 10 seconds before God closes this door. Do not move. Do not scroll. Do not look away from this screen. I need you right here, right now, because what is about to happen in the next few minutes was not an accident. You did not stumble upon this video by chance. You were not randomly browsing and happened to land here. No, I brought you here. I pulled you here. I made sure that out of the millions of voices screaming for your attention tonight, this one would reach you. This one. Right now, at this exact second of your life. And I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, this is just another video. You are thinking, you have heard words like these before. You are thinking maybe you will watch for a minute or two and then move on. But I need you to hear me carefully. If you scroll away from this video tonight, you will not find it again. Not like this. Not when the words were meant to land exactly where your heart is bleeding right now. This is not entertainment. This is an intervention. This is me, your God, stepping directly into your night, into your silence, into that place inside your chest where you have been holding something so heavy that your own body is tired of carrying it. I see you. I see all of it. I see what you posted on social media with a smile, while your hands were shaking behind the screen. I see how many nights you laid in the dark, staring at the ceiling, asking me why. I see how you kept going when everything inside you wanted to stop. And I see that part of you right now, the part that is wondering if anyone in this entire world even knows you are struggling. I know. I have always known. And tonight, I am not staying silent anymore. But before I tell you what I have been preparing for you, stay with me, because what comes next will completely change how you see what you have been going through. Every tear, every closed door, every betrayal, every season where it felt like I forgot your name. I did not forget you. I was working, and what I was building behind your pain is so massive, so specific, so detailed to your exact life, that when I reveal it, you are going to fall to your knees not in sadness, but in shock at how much I was doing while you thought I was doing nothing. Most chosen ones will never hear this, not because it is hidden, but because they scroll past it too soon. They leave right before the moment that was designed to change everything. They give up one step before the wall breaks, and I refuse to let that be you. Not tonight. Not after everything you have survived to be sitting right here reading these words or hearing this voice. You made it. You are still here. And that alone tells me something about you that you have not yet realized about yourself. There is a reason you feel different from everyone around you. There is a reason your path has been harder, lonelier, and more confusing than what you see others walking through. There is a reason people have left your life without explanation. There is a reason you have been kept in waiting, while others were handed things that seemed to come so easy. And tonight, I am going to tell you that reason. I am going to explain every single season of your life that felt like punishment but was actually preparation. I am going to show you what is behind the door that I have been holding open for you and only you. And I am going to make you a promise that no human being on this earth has the authority to make, but I do. If you stay with me until the very end of this message, something will shift inside you. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Before you close your eyes to sleep, you will feel something you have not felt in a very long time. You will feel seen. You will feel chosen. You will feel certain that your suffering was never wasted, and that what is coming for you is worth every single second of what you have been through. But you have to stay. You have to give me your attention, not halfway, not with one eye on your phone and one ear somewhere else. I need all of you, because what I am about to pour into your spirit requires your full presence. This is a conversation between me and you. No one else, just you and the God who made you, who kept you, who refuse to let you be destroyed even when you are ready to let yourself go. So if you feel something stirring inside you right now, if there is a warmth in your chest, or a pressure behind your eyes, or a whisper in your spirit that says this is real, this is for me, then I need you to do something for me. I need you to type I am ready in the comments right now, not later. Right now, let me know you are here. Let me know you are choosing to receive what I have for you tonight. And then settle in. Get comfortable. Because chosen one, your life is about to make sense in a way it never has before. Type Amen to affirm that you are here and you are not leaving. There is a door in front of you right now. You cannot see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows it is there. You have felt it. Maybe you felt it as a restlessness that would not let you sleep. Maybe you felt it as a sudden urge to change something in your life, but you could not explain what. Maybe you felt it tonight when you clicked on this video and something inside you whispered, "Stay." That whisper was not random. That was me telling you to pay attention, because what I am about to say carries weight that will press on your heart for the rest of your life, depending on what you choose to do in the next few minutes. I have been holding a door open for you, not for a day, not for a week, for years. Years, chosen one. Do you understand what that means? While you were distracted, I held it. While you were running in the wrong direction, I held it. While you were giving your energy to people who were draining you and pouring yourself into situations that were never meant for you, I stood at this door with my hand on it, refusing to let it shut. Not because you earned that, not because you were faithful every single day, but because I made a promise over your life before you took your first breath, and I do not break what I speak. But here is something most people are never told. God's patience has a timeline. My mercy is endless, but my doors are not. There are moments in your life that are appointed. Specific windows that open for a reason and close for a reason. And when they close, they do not reopen the same way. I am not saying this to frighten you. I am saying this because I love you too much to let you sit in comfort while your moment is passing. Tonight is not just another night. Tonight something is shifting in the spiritual realm over your life, and I need you fully awake for it. Do not move past this part because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. You have been carrying a secret weight that you do not talk about. You smile, you show up, you answer the phone when people call, and you give them strength you do not even have for yourself. But when the room is empty and the lights go down, there is a version of you that no one has ever met. A version that is exhausted. A version that has been quietly wondering if things will ever actually change or if this is just what your life is going to be. I see that version. I have always seen that version of you that I am speaking to right now. This door I am holding open is not for the public version of you. It is for the real one. The one who cried in the car and then wiped your face and walked into work like nothing happened. The one who prayed and heard nothing back and still got on your knees the next night. That faithfulness did not go unnoticed. I recorded every single second of it. And what is behind this door is my response to every prayer you thought I ignored. So I am asking you directly, will you walk through it? Will you stop hesitating and stop overthinking and stop telling yourself you are not ready? You were ready the moment you survived what should have broken you. Type Amen right now if you are accepting what I am offering you tonight. Do not wait. Do not think about it. Just type it and let your spirit do what your mind has been too afraid to do. And chosen one, stay with me. Because what I am about to reveal in the next section is something almost no one talks about. It is the real reason you almost gave up. And when you hear it, everything you have been feeling for the past months and even years is going to make a kind of sense that will bring tears to your eyes. Do not leave now, not when we are this close. I told you I was going to explain the real reason you almost gave up. And I meant it. Because what happened to you was not what most people think. The world looked at you and thought you were fine. Some people even thought you were strong. But I need to pull back the curtain on something tonight that your own mouth has never had the courage to say out loud. You almost walked away from everything. Your faith, your purpose, your life as you knew it. And the reason was not weakness. It was never weakness. The reason you almost quit is because you were carrying a weight that was never meant for one person alone. And nobody offered to help you hold it. You kept showing up, day after day. Smiling when your chest was tight, answering questions like everything was fine when your whole world was falling apart behind closed doors. People around you had no idea. They saw you functioning, and they assumed you were okay. But functioning and okay are not the same thing, and you know that better than anyone. You were surviving on fumes, running on empty but still making sure everyone else had enough. And the part that hurt the most was not the struggle itself. It was the fact that nobody asked. Nobody stopped and said, "Are you all right?" and actually meant it. Nobody noticed the change in your voice, or the way your laughter did not reach your eyes anymore. Do not skip past this part, because what I am about to tell you right now is the thing that is going to release something you have been holding in your chest for far too long. You thought I was not watching during those moments. You thought because heaven was silent, it meant heaven was empty. But here is a spiritual truth that most people never learn. My silence is not my absence. When I go quiet in your life, it is because I am doing something so intricate and so precise that even a whisper from me could cause you to move too early. I was not gone. I was closer to you in your darkest moments than I have ever been. The nights you cried alone, I was sitting in that room with you. The mornings you woke up and did not want to face the day, I was the reason you still opened your eyes. You thought it was just habit. It was not. That was me. Every single time, refusing to let the darkness have the final word over your story. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You were never broken. You were never forgotten. You were always exactly where you needed to be. The pain did not come because I abandoned you. The pain came because I was stretching you. And stretching always hurts before it produces growth. You were being pulled in directions your mind could not understand because your mind was trying to make sense of a process that only your spirit could handle. That is why it felt so confusing. That is why you kept asking why and hearing othing back. Some answers are not given in the waiting. They are given after the waiting has done its work in you. So tonight, I want you to do something. I want you to release it. All of it. The resentment you have been carrying toward the people who did not show up for you. The anger you have been holding toward yourself for not being stronger. The guilt you have been dragging around for the moments you thought you failed. Let it go right here, right now. You do not need to carry it one more second. Type 1111 in the comments if you have been carrying pain that nobody in your life knows about. Let that number be your release. Let it be the moment you finally say, "I do not have to hold this alone anymore." And chosen one, stay right here with me. Because in the next part, I am going to tell you something about the silence you have been sitting in. The season where nothing seemed to move. Where every prayer felt like it hit the ceiling and came back down. I am about to show you what was actually happening during that silence. And when you hear it, you will never look at your waiting season the same way again. I promised you I would explain what was happening during the silence. That season where you prayed and heard nothing. Where you begged for a sign and the sky stayed empty. Where you watched other people receive their answers while yours seemed lost somewhere between your lips and heaven. That season almost destroyed your faith. I know it did, and I know there were nights when you whispered things to me that you would never say in front of another person. Things like, "Are you even real?" Things like, "Why do you answer them but not me?" Things like, "I am tired of believing in something I cannot see and cannot feel." I heard every single word, and I did not answer. Not because I was angry, not because I was punishing you, but because answering you too soon would have ruined very thing I was building for you. Let me tell you something that changed everything for those who came before you, but most people were never taught this. There is a kind of silence that comes from absence. That kind of silence is cold. It is empty. It has no purpose and no direction. But there is another kind of silence that comes from an intense focus. It is the silence of a surgeon in the middle of a life-saving operation. It is the silence of a father building something in secret for his child. That is the silence you are sitting in. My silence over your life was not neglect. It was concentration. I was rearranging things you could not see, moving people you had not met yet, closing doors that would have led you to destruction, opening paths that needed to be cleared before your feet could walk on them. And I could not explain any of it to you in the middle of the process, because you would have tried to help and chosen one. With all the love in my heart, some things I need to do alone. You thought the waiting meant you were being forgotten, but the opposite was true. The longer the silence lasted, the bigger the thing I was preparing. Do not rush past this part, because this is the piece most chosen ones miss, and it costs them years of unnecessary pain. My delays are not my denials. When I slow things down in your life, it is because the version of you that exists right now is not yet ready to carry what I have already set aside for you. I was not withholding your blessing. I was building your capacity to hold it. Because if I gave you everything you asked for 2 years ago, it would have crushed you. Not because the blessing was bad, but because your foundation was not deep enough yet. The silence was me digging that foundation. Every tear you shed was watering it. Every lonely night was setting it deeper into the ground. And you had no idea that while you were falling apart on the surface, you were being built up underneath in ways your eyes could not measure. There is a hidden pain I want to speak to right now. It is the pain of watching other people get engaged while you sleep alone. Watching other people get promoted while your work goes unnoticed. Watching other people laugh easily while you fight just to get through the afternoon. That comparison has been eating you alive, and you have not told a single soul about it. But I see it, and I need you to hear me say this clearly. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their portion is not your portion. What I have for you does not even exist in the same category as what I gave them. You were never in competition with anyone. You were being set apart, and being set apart always feels like being left behind, until the moment of revelation comes. So right now in this moment, I am asking you to do something that takes more strength than anything else I could ask of you. I am asking you to trust me, even without evidence, even without a sign, even with tears still wet on your face. Type 777 in the comments if you are choosing to trust me, even in the silence. Let that number stand as your declaration that you believe I am working, even when you cannot see a single thing moving. And chosen one, do not go anywhere, because what I am about to tell you next is about the people who left you, the ones who walked away, the ones who overlooked you and treated you like you did not matter. I am about to show you exactly why I removed them and what I am replacing them with. And when you hear it, the rejection you have been carrying is going to lose every bit of its power over you. Now we are going to talk about the ones who left. The ones who looked right through you like you were invisible. The ones who had a front row seat to your loyalty and your love, and still chose to walk away like no. None of it mattered. I know their names, I know their faces, and more importantly, I know exactly what their departure did to something deep inside you. It planted a lie A quiet lie that has been growing in the dark corners of your mind ever since they left. The lie that says maybe I was not enough. Maybe I was too much. Maybe there is something fundamentally wrong with me that makes people leave. I need to uproot that lie tonight, because it has been poisoning everything you touch, and you do not even realize it. Let me tell you what really happened. Those people did not leave because you failed them. They left because I removed them. There is a difference, and that difference changes everything. When someone walks out of your life and you cannot make sense of it, when the ending comes without a reason that satisfies your heart, that is almost always my hand at work. I removed them because where I am taking you next requires a different circle. It requires people who can handle the weight of your calling. It requires people who will not shrink back when they see you step into the fullness of what I designed you for. The ones who left could not carry that. They were not built for your next season. And if I had let them stay, they would have held you back in ways you would not have recognized until it was too late. Here is something that will change how you see every rejection you have ever experienced. Do not skip past this, because this revelation alone is worth your entire time watching tonight. In the spiritual realm, rejection is not a wound. It is a redirection. Every closed door was me rerouting you. Every person who said no to you was me protecting you from a yes that would have destroyed your purpose. I know it did not feel like protection. I know it felt like abandonment. But I need you to start seeing your life through my eyes instead of through your pain. From where I sit, every single thing that was taken from you was taken because it was standing between you and something so much greater that your human mind could not have planned it on its best day. And I want to speak directly to a wound that you have buried so deep you forgot it was still bleeding. There is someone specific you are thinking about right now. Someone whose rejection cut you in a place that never fully healed. You moved on with your life, but a part of you still carries the weight of that moment. You still replay it sometimes. You still wonder what you could have done differently. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You could not have changed it. It was not yours to fix. That person's exit was written into your story long before it happened, because I needed that space cleared for what is coming. And what is coming will make their absence make sense. The people who dismissed you are about to see you in a way that will leave them speechless. Not because you will seek revenge, not because you will say a single word to them, but because my hand on your life is about to become so visible and so undeniable that every person who counted you out will have to sit with the reality that they walked away from someone chosen by God. Type, "My time is now," in the comments if you are ready for me to reveal to the world what I have been building in you during the quiet season. Your moment of being hidden is almost over. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You were not rejected. You were being protected. You were not abandoned. You were being repositioned. And you were not forgotten. You were being forged in a fire that most people would not have survived. But you did. And that is exactly why what comes next belongs to you. Now stay with me, chosen one, because the next thing I am going to share with you is about your pain. Not the pain people caused you, but the deeper pain. The one you have been carrying since something broke inside you a long time ago. I am about to show you why that specific wound was never an accident, and why it is the very thing I am going to use to change lives through you. And when you hear this, you will understand your entire life in a way you never have before. There is something inside you that you have been treating like a curse. Something that happened to you, maybe years ago. Maybe in your childhood, maybe in a season you do not even like to think about anymore. It left a mark on you. And ever since that moment, you have been living with a quiet belief that you are damaged. That the thing which broke you somehow disqualified you from the good things I have planned. That everyone else got to start life whole, but you had to start it with a crack running through the center of who you are. I brought you to this exact part of the message tonight because I need to correct something you have believed about yourself for far too long. That wound you carry is not your disqualification, it is your assignment. I know that does not make sense to you yet. How could the worst thing that ever happened to you be connected to your purpose? How could something that caused you so much damage be the very thing I intend to use for good? But do not move past this part, because this is the piece that most chosen ones never understand, and it is the reason so many gifted people live their entire lives running from the very thing that was meant to fuel their calling. Your deepest wound and your greatest purpose are not separate things. They are the same thing wearing different faces at different seasons of your life. What the enemy used to break you is the exact material I am going to use to build something through you that'll touch lives you will never even meet. Let me show you something most people are never taught. In the spiritual realm, there is a principle that operates in the opposite direction of human logic. In your world, people believe that strength comes from comfort, that success comes from advantage, that the people who were given the most are the ones who do the most. But in my kingdom, it works differently. The most powerful voices I have ever raised up did not come from places of privilege. They came from places of pain. The ones who carry the deepest anointing are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who survived what should have ended them, and let me turn their scars into messages. That is you, whether you see it yet or not. That is exactly who you are. There is a specific pain I want to name right now, and I want you to pay very close attention to how your body responds when I say it. You have been carrying the wound of not being chosen, not being picked first, not being the one that people fought to keep. That feeling of being optional in the lives of people you would have done anything for. It started early, maybe with a parent who was not fully present, maybe with a friend who replaced you without a second thought, maybe with someone you loved who made you feel like you were easy to leave. That pattern followed you and it taught you to shrink. It taught you to pour into others so they would need you, because you were afraid that if you stopped being useful, you would stop being wanted. I see that. I have watched it shape your decisions for years, and tonight I am breaking its power over you. Because here is what I need you to understand. You were never optional to me. You were my first thought, not my afterthought. And the pain that taught you to shrink is the same pain that I am going to use to teach others how to stand. One day, and that day is closer than you think, you are going to open your mouth and share what you survived. And someone who is standing on the edge of giving up is going to hear your voice and step back from that edge. Your wound is going to become their rescue. Type Amen right now if you believe that your pain has purpose. Type it and let that declaration become the turning point between the old chapter and the new one I am writing over your life. And chosen one, do not leave me now. Because what I am about to share next is going to set your heart on fire. I am about to talk about speed, the speed at which I am going to move in your life from this moment on. What took others 10 years, I am about to hand you in 1 season. And when you hear how fast things are about to change, you are going to understand why the preparation had to be so long and so painful. Stay right here. I told you I was going to talk about speed, and I need you to lean in for this one, because what I am about to say is going to rewire the way you think about time and everything you have been waiting for. You have been patient. Too patient, some would say. You have watched months turn into years and years turn into seasons that felt like they would never end. And somewhere along the way, a dangerous thought crept in. The thought that said, maybe this is just how long it takes for someone like me. Maybe my blessings move slower than everyone else. Maybe I am on a delayed timeline that will never catch up. I need to destroy that thought right now because it is a lie, and it has been stealing your expectation for long enough. Here is what is about to happen in your life, and I do not say this lightly. I am about to compress time for you. Things that should take years are going to collapse into months. Doors that should take dozens of attempts to open are going to swing wide at your first knock. Connections that should take a lifetime to build are going to appear in a single conversation. You're entering what I call an accelerated season, and most people live their entire lives without ever stepping into one. But you are not most people. You were chosen for this. The long suffering you endured was not a sign that things move slowly for you. It was the loading time before a sudden launch, and chosen one, that launch is here. Do not rush past this moment, because this is where everything shifts. There is a spiritual truth hidden in the way I operate that very few people ever grasp. I do not work on a steady incline. I do not build things gradually the way humans expect. I work in sudden bursts of completion. Think about how I made the universe. I did not spend 1,000 years slowly forming light. I spoke and it was done, in a single moment. That is how I am about to move in your life. Not inch by inch, not step by step, but suddenly, completely. In a way that will make the people watching your life wonder what happened to you overnight. They will not understand it. They do not need to. It was never for them to understand. It was always for you to receive. And I know the hidden frustration you have been sitting with. You have been doing the right things and seeing no results. You have been faithful in the small things and watching other people get rewarded for doing the bare minimum. You have been tithing your time, your energy, and your heart into situations that gave you nothing back. And a part of you has started to wonder if faithfulness even matters. If doing things the right way is just a slower path to the same destination that everyone else reaches by cutting corners. I hear that frustration, and I want you to know that every single act of faithfulness you have sown in secret is about to produce a harvest in public that will be so overwhelming you will not have enough room to contain it. Here is the truth. No one says out loud. Your delay was never about punishment. It was about positioning. I could not release your blessing into a life that was not yet structured to hold it. But the building is done now. The foundation is set. The walls are up. And what is about to pour into your life is going to come so fast that you are going to look back at this very night and say, that was the moment everything turned. Type 888 in the comments right now to claim supernatural acceleration over your life. Let that number be your agreement with heaven that you are ready to receive at the speed I am ready to give. And chosen one, there is something else I need to tell you before this night is over. Something that might be the most important thing you hear in this entire message. It is about the old version of you. The version that has been holding on to habits and mindsets and ways of thinking that cannot come with you into this next chapter. What I am about to say next might be uncomfortable, but if you can receive it, it will set you free in a way nothing else ever has. Stay with me. We are not done yet. This is the part of the message where I stop being gentle. Not because I love you any less, but because what I am about to say requires a kind of honesty that comfort cannot give you. I have shown you the door that is open. I have shown you what I was doing in the silence. I have shown you the purpose hiding inside your pain and the speed at which I am about to move. But none of that will matter if you try to walk into your next season carrying the person you have been. The old you cannot come where I am taking you. And tonight, that old version has to die. I know that word is heavy. I know it makes something inside you tighten up, because the old you is familiar. The old you is safe. The old you knows how to survive, and you have been in survival mode for so long that it feels like home. But survival is not the same as living, and I did not create you to merely survive. I created you to reign, to create, to stand in rooms that the old version of you would have been too afraid to enter. And the only thing standing between you and that version of yourself is your willingness to release who you have been, so I can reveal who you were always meant to become. Let me tell you something that most people never consider. And do not rush past this, because it is the key to everything that comes next. You've been praying for new things, new opportunities, new relationships, new provision, but you have been praying for them with an old identity. You have been asking me for a future that requires a version of you that does not exist yet, and that is why the new things have not landed. Not because I was withholding them, but because there was nowhere for them to land. You cannot pour new wine into old containers. The container breaks and everything spills. I am not just trying to give you new blessings, chosen one. I am trying to give you a new self, one that can hold what is coming without cracking under the weight of it. And here is where I need to get specific, because there is a pattern in your life that you have been aware of, but too afraid to confront. You keep going back to the same thought patterns that tell you that you are not good enough. Back to the same emotional habits that keep you stuck in cycles of doubt and self-sabotage. Back to the same version of yourself that apologizes for existing and shrinks to make other people comfortable. You know exactly what I am talking about. You have felt it pulling you backward every single time you try to step forward. That pull is not just a bad habit, it is a spiritual chain. And tonight I am breaking it, but only if you let me. Here is the truth that will set you free if you are brave enough to accept it. You are not afraid of failure. You have already failed and survived it. You are afraid of your own power. You are afraid of Hat happens when you stop playing small and start walking in the fullness of what I placed inside you. You are afraid that if you become who you were really meant to be, it will change everything. And you are right. It will. It will change your relationships. It will change how people see you. It will change what you tolerate and what you walk away from. And that kind of change terrifies the old you. But the new you is ready for it. So I am giving you a command tonight, not a suggestion, a command. Let go. Let go of the old identity. Let go of the survival mindset. Let go of the smallness that has been your shield for too many years. Type 1 let go in the comments right now and mean it from the deepest part of your spirit. Let those words be the funeral for the version of you that was never supposed to be permanent. You were always meant to evolve into something greater. Tonight is the night it begins. And chosen one, we are almost at the end of this message, but the most powerful part is still ahead. What I am about to share with you in the final section is a promise, a specific, detailed promise about your blessing. It has a name, it has a date, and when you hear what I have already scheduled for your life, you will understand that none of this was ever random. Stay with me for this last part. You cannot afford to miss it. This is the moment you have been waiting for. Not just since this video started, but for years, maybe longer. There has been a question sitting in the deepest part of your heart that you have been too afraid to ask out loud because you were scared the answer would be silence again. The question is when? When does it get better? When does the struggle end? When do I finally get to experience the thing I have been believing for? I hear that question. I have always heard it. And tonight, for the first time, I am going to answer it. Not with a vague promise. Oat with a someday, but with a truth so specific it is going to shake something loose inside your spirit that has been locked up for far too long. Your blessing is not floating somewhere in the distance waiting to find you. It is not lost. It is not delayed in some heavenly warehouse. It has already been scheduled. It has a name. It has a date. It has details so precise that if I showed you the full picture right now, your human mind would not be able to process it. I have already written the names of the people who are about to enter your life. I have already prepared the exact amount of provision that is coming to your hands. I have already selected the moment when the phone will ring, or the email will arrive, or the conversation will happen that flips everything in your favor. None of it is random. All of it is scheduled and chosen. One, it is closer than your next breath. Do not move past this part because this is the truth that most people will never hear, and it is the one that makes all the difference. In the spiritual realm, your blessings do not operate the way human deliveries do. They do not come on a truck that you can track with a number. They are released in response to alignment. The moment your faith and your identity and your obedience line up with what I have already declared over your life, the blessing does not slowly make its way to you. It appears. Suddenly, completely, like it was always there just waiting for you to be in the right position to receive it. And that is what tonight is about. Everything I have spoken over you in this message has been shifting you into position. Every tear you released, every old mindset you let go of, every amen you typed, it was all moving you closer to the exact alignment that triggers the release. And I want to speak to a longing you have been hiding from everyone, including yourself. There is something you want. So Daily that you stopped praying for it because it hurt too much to keep asking. You buried it. You told yourself it was not meant for you. You convinced yourself that wanting it was selfish or unrealistic, but I put that desire in you. I planted it before you were born. And the fact that it will not go away no matter how hard you try to silence it is proof that it is connected to your assignment. That longing is not a weakness. It is a compass pointing you toward exactly where I am leading you. And what I am telling you right now is that the very thing you stopped asking for is the next thing I am going to give you. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You did not miss your moment. You did not take too long. You are not behind schedule. You are arriving right on time to a table that was set before you even knew you were invited. Everything in your life has been leading to a single point of convergence, and you are standing at the edge of it right now, tonight, not next year, not next month. The shift has already begun, and by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, you will feel it in your bones that something is different. Type 1111 in the comments right now and hit the like button as an act of faith. Let that be your signature on the covenant between you and heaven. You are not just watching a video. You are entering an agreement with the living God who sees you, who knows you, and who has already written your next chapter in ink that cannot be erased. And chosen one, stay right here, because I have one final word to speak over you, a closing prayer and a promise that will seal everything that was declared tonight. Do not leave before you hear it. What I am about to say will stay with you for the rest of your life. Before you go, stay with this one last message carefully. This may be the most important thing spoken in this entire video, because everything that has happened, between the moment you clicked on this video and this very second was not entertainment, it was surgery. I was operating on your spirit. Removing things that did not belong, closing wounds that had been open for years, planting seeds in soil that everyone else thought was dead. And you sat through all of it. You did not scroll away. You did not give up on this message the way so many others would have. That tells me something about you that you need to hear. You are not the person who quits. You are the person who stays, even when it is hard. Even when it is long, even when every part of you wants to walk away, you stay. And that is exactly why I chose you. Think about where you were at the beginning of this message. You were carrying a weight that no one knew about. You were questioning whether I even heard your prayers. You were sitting in silence, wondering if your life would ever change. And now look at where you stand. You know the door is open. You know the silence was never punishment. You know the pain has purpose. You know the people who left were removed by my hand. You know that speed is coming to your life in a way that defies human logic. You know the old version of you has been released. And you know that your blessing has already been named and dated in the courts of heaven. That is not a small thing. You walked into this message empty, and you are leaving it carrying a fire that nothing and no one can put out. Everything you just heard, you already knew it. Deep inside, in that place beneath the doubt and the fear and the exhaustion. You knew you were chosen. You knew your suffering had meaning. You knew something was coming. You just needed a voice to remind you that it was always true. And that is what tonight was. A remembering, a returning to the truth that was planted in your spirit before you ever took your first breath. And now I want to ask ye, out something, not as a demand, but as an invitation from the one who has spoken over your life tonight. If this message reached a place inside you that nothing else has touched in a long time, press the subscribe button and tap that bell. Not for numbers, not for a channel, but because this is where I will continue to speak to you. This is the place where I will keep meeting you in your midnight hours and reminding you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. Every time you come back here, you are telling heaven that you are still listening. And as long as you are listening, I will never stop speaking. Type 1212 in the comments right now to claim the miracles that have been released over your life tonight. Let that number be your final declaration. And then type Amen one last time to seal every single word that was spoken over your spirit, from the first second of this message to this very last breath. You are seen, you are chosen, you are loved beyond measure, and your life will never be the same after tonight. Go in peace. Choose one. I am with you. I have always been with you, and I am not going anywhere.